Hello and welcome to Leeds Tax News on Thursday the 19th of December. I'm Harry Graham.
And I'm Henry Whittaker. Here are today's headlines.
Residents in Leeds come together to clean up the streets before Christmas.
NHS staff raise their voices to boost mental health.
And talking turkey, will the bird be on your Christmas menu? But first, emergency services in Leeds are bracing themselves for Mad Friday, one of their busiest nights of the year. Tomorrow is a popular day for Christmas parties, and last year West Yorkshire Ambulance Service took 15% more calls than average. They're urging people to drink responsibly and to treat ambulance staff with respect.
The last Friday before Christmas and everybody comes out and, gets well juiced up. We've got extra staff on in the morning because we don't know what it's going to be like from opening the doors at 12. So we just take every precaution. We prep more, set up more. Hopefully that all the staff are all ready for it as well.
We're expecting an increase in sort of walk-in revenue. Saturdays are normally our busiest day, like January throughout the whole year, but every Friday throughout Christmas we staff as if we would be staffing a Saturday, so every single person is in.
More than 200 drivers have been arrested in West Yorkshire for drink and drug driving since the start of December. The police are running their annual campaign to remind people of the consequences of drink and drug driving over the festive period. Carol Whittingham's son, Stephen, was killed when his car was hit by a stolen vehicle driving at 18 miles an hour. The driver had been drinking and taking drugs.
I think the message has got to be very loud and very clear. Plan how you're going to get home. It's fine to go out and enjoy yourself, be a bit silly at Christmas, meet up with mates, go to clubs. It's absolutely fine, go and do it and enjoy yourself. But please, before you go, make sure you know how you're going to get home safely. Book your taxi. Have a designated driver.
The Leeds Rhinos legend Rob Burrow has announced he's been diagnosed with motor neurone disease. The club's reserve team head coach, who's 37 and has 3 children, made almost 500 appearances for the club and was capped by England 15 times. A fund will be set up in the new year to help the player and his family.
Volunteers have been braving the rain today to give Hyde Park a well-needed Christmas makeover. The area is often in the news for the amount of litter and rubbish. Our reporter Lauren Halligan went to lend a hand with the clean-up.
Hyde Park is known to be a littered area of Leeds. Volunteers from All Hallows Church have come out today to give Hyde Park a well-needed Christmas makeover. They plan to start out small today but hope that others will feel inspired, see them and join in to go litter picking.
Today we are giving Hyde Park a Christmas present. We're going to be walking around our slightly mucky, messy neighbourhood, and we're going to be picking up litter and making it more beautiful for Christmas. It is the coolest neighbourhood in the whole city and probably the whole world, but there's a lot of litter around the place. There are a lot of neighbours, I think, not to put too much blame on students, but who haven't lived out of home before, and so the streets are messy, and it's a thing that we do regularly. We clean up the streets and just show a little bit of generous, cheery spirit, and hope that others will see and will want to do the same.
It's just something I've noticed as we've been walking to church. We walk everywhere, we don't have a car. That there's a lot of garbage around, and I think it's in part because a lot of the trash cans don't have tops, and so rats get in there and kind of make do with what they can. So we'll see who shows up today. It was just kind of a first ditch effort to clean up just the area around the church. We'll start small, just kind of get our local space. We're hoping to clean up the park just down there and maybe a couple of the streets up and down. But hopefully people see us cleaning up and get inspired and want to try to do it themselves. And if everybody could just step outside their door and clean up their own space, then this whole community could change for the better.
Whether you live in the Hyde Park area or not, litter will continue to be an eyesore that these volunteers are hoping to combat one litter pick at a time. Lauren Halligan reporting for Leeds Tax News.
In spite of the shopping frenzy before Christmas, retail workers are often under pressure to work on Boxing Day. This year, the Home Bargains chain announced it would stay closed on December the 26th to give staff an extra day off. A petition calling for more stores to follow has gained more than 50,000 signatures.
This year will be my 3rd Christmas working in a pub. Yeah, this year I got Christmas Eve off, but I'll be working Christmas Day and Boxing Day and then the day after. It's difficult. Obviously you do get paid a little bit more, but I think it's quite hard because you're not spending that time with your family, and you feel kind of like you get to the end of the festive period and you've not had that break that everyone else has had. A lot of people come back in January feeling quite relaxed and like they've had time off, but I just never really get that. I think especially in the catering industry, there's just no need for restaurants and pubs to be open on Christmas Day. It's one day of the year. Obviously, fair enough, people have to work if you're in a hospital or any other emergency service, but I really just don't think that pubs and shops should be open on Christmas.
For many of us, Christmas dinner is the high point of the day. In the UK, over 10 million turkeys are eaten with all the trimmings. However, with more choices now available for the festive feast, can turkey keep its crown? Earlier, Harry went to investigate.
With Christmas Day on the horizon, so too is the famous holiday feast. But what will be on the menu this year? With the desire for a meat-free diet on the rise, could turkeys lose their place on the Christmas table?
I've seen a decrease in turkeys, what we call with legs, with the bone on. They're going less and less and less every year, and turkey crowns are going up and up and up because you've got no bone, you've got no, if they don't like the legs, they've got no waste. They cook the turkey and eat it up and it's gone.
For butchers, December is the busiest time of year. From turkeys to pork pies, their demand is high. But during the rest of the year when business is less, how do butchers stay afloat?
We alter with the seasons, whereas years ago a lot of butchers would try and sell the same product all year round. People's foods are changing. Sunday dinners aren't the same now. A lot of pubs and clubs and restaurants now will do 2 for a tenner. So they think to themselves, well, why buy a joint of beef for 15 quid when we can go out and have 2 for a tenner, and we've not got to cook it, not got to wash the pots, not do anything. It's less work, it's less hassle, and I think that way of life is changing.
Although the number of meat-free eaters continues to increase, it seems that turkeys still reign supreme at Christmas time. I'm Harry Graham, reporting for Leeds Tax News. Christmas is not always a cheerful time, and it can be stressful. To combat this, staff from NHS Digital put on their Christmas hats and warmed up their vocal cords before heading to the Trinity Centre in Leeds. The team sang carols and danced in order to raise money for St George's Crypt and kept their spirits high this Christmas.
Our theme for the month, for the culture change that we're trying to bring in, our theme is brave, and our theme is talking about and doing things that we haven't necessarily talked about and done. One of those is mental health. Singing is immensely good for your mental health. Everybody has mental health. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. And what we wanted to do was bring in some professional support to help a group of people across a wide directorate come together, work together as a team. Singing's really good for your mental health, but something happens when you sing in a group. And singing in a group, it enhances your well-being. You work as a team. The thing that you produce is a product of all of you. And it's just a really healthy thing to do. So we brought in some professional support. We've had some practices which have just caused hilarity in the office. So we've lifted all the energy for everybody. Lots of happy smiling faces. And then to make the most of it, we've come out to raise money for St George's, the homeless charity.
So that's a wrap for Leeds Tax News 2019. But just before we go, just want to take 1 minute to say thank you to one of our lecturers, Barbara Henderson. She's been part of the team here for just over 3 years and been part of our entire journey, hasn't she, Harry? Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say, you know, the number of news ideas we've had rejected and terrifying pre-programme meetings has no doubt put us in good stead for when we take on our careers in journalism. So thank you a lot, Barbara. Yeah, thank you, Barbara. Thank you a lot. And that's it, really. Have a very Merry Christmas from me, Henry Whittaker.
And a Happy New Year. I'm Harry Graham.
Bye-bye.